to Ron Siegel Radio on ESPN Radio 1700. Now, live in studio, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family, your business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Before we get into our intriguing content this morning, please join me in welcoming our featured guests. Repeat offender, Jenae Noonan's in the house. Welcome.
Thanks for having me again.
Glad to have you back with us. First timer, Tiffany Avans in the house. Welcome.
Good morning.
Glad to have you with us as well. And let me remind you, if you ever have any home or finance related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you. You can reach out to me directly at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember, that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
Well, I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money. I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference. 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. We are celebrating this morning. It's a double celebration today. And have a little fun. Actually, we might have a triple celebration because sometimes you just gotta keep yourself out of trouble.
It is what it is.
Well, today is National Chili Dog Day. And you can't have a chili dog without a little bit of Beano with it.
Okay.
Absolutely. Follow that up with a little bit of National Cheesecake Day today.
You're absolutely useless.
Yeah, a little bit of useless information there. If you are in the Orange County area, please join us. We're going to be out there. Concerts in the Canyon, Ronald Reagan Park in Anaheim Hills this evening. Bring cheesecake for admission. Actually, we'll let you in even if you don't bring the cheesecake, but come on out there and enjoy a little bit of good music. Free concert in the park. Have some fun with us. Join us out there.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, me too. If you have too many of those cheese dogs or chili dogs out there, I got a bad feeling about it. Moving right along, I guess we should get into some of our fun stuff that we have on the docket today. First item, as we always do, we've got a little bit of Ask Your Mortgage Advocate. What is on the docket today from your mortgage advocate? Here are a lot of people having an issue with credit scores. One of the easy ways of getting your credit scores enhanced, but does it really work? Is it going to help you? Well, that is our subject today. It's called authorized users. What is an authorized user on your credit report? It's probably one of the easier ways, if you understand how it works, to get your credit scores increased. Now, this only works if you have some trade lines on your credit report. A good underwriter will understand what I'm going to share with you, so it may not work there. But I want to see how you can get your credit score enhanced just a little bit to get that lower interest rate. You need to find somebody that might like you. I have a problem there, but if you can find somebody that does like you, and they have a old credit card, something that they've had for quite a while, that has a high limit, low balance. If they make you an authorized user, once that populates to your credit report, it's going to help your credit score. Why? Well, we've talked about this in the past. Your credit score is 65% of the score is based on utilization of credit and how old the credit line or trade line is. So when you put those two together, that's the biggest segment of your credit report. Think about it. So why do I say that a great underwriter will not like that? Well, the issue is if you've got no other trade lines and it's only authorized users, they realize that it's not you and you're using somebody else's data. So that's why we give you this information so that you can maybe, the difference here is that if you can get your credit score from, say, a 670 to a 720, can save your family a lot of money. Aaron Heemner came on here I don't know, a few weeks back, talking about the fact that if you've got the difference between a 650 and 750 FICO score, not the FACO score. Don't look at that freebie, because it's a fake score. We want the FICO score. If you get a FICO score, 650 to 750, one house payment, one $35,000 car payment, $500 a month difference. Now, I don't know about you, but I'd much rather have $500 a month in my pocket than giving it to somebody else. If you want to give it to somebody else, Ron at RonSiegelRadio.com. Especially if you use Chase, you can just do a quick pay right to me. It'll work just fine. That is the Ask Your Mortgage Advocate section.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
And yes, it is. That is the truth. Oh, speaking about truth, government jobs, I used to say that the government jobs were, that wasn't the great place to make your living. Think about this one. 28 employees in the University of California system are paid more than $1 million a year. $1 million a year to go to school. Now, I don't know. When I was in college, the teachers there, they call them professors or doctors or, I don't know, partiers, something like that. But think about this. They worked maybe 12 hours a week. They had someone helping them do the grading. The tests were the same for the last 20 years. That's why I took that class. And they're making over $1 million a year. Really? And look who's leading the pack. I got to get some. I got to do this right here. Who's leading the pack of income in the University of California system? It's the junior college in Los Angeles. Jim Mora, their head football coach, making $3.5 million a year. All I can say to him is one little bit of information. Yeah, those guys at that junior college, they don't like hearing this song, but I play it anyway because I got the button machine in front of me. So I can. Who is this? Surgeon Naveen Bandekar. $1.08 million at the University of California, Irvine. They've got a basketball coach. I didn't even know they had a basketball program at UC Irvine. I've heard about their baseball program. Basketball coach, $334,000. Basketball, they probably would play 20 games a year, $334,000. Not bad pay. I'll move right along. Government work, I guess it's good when you can get it. And you know that they can't fire anybody whether they work or not, so that's even better. Talking about working or not, California back in the news again. Proposed changes to California's renewable portfolio standard. What the heck does that mean? Well, it's those politicians. Most of them, they have a problem. It's called thinking. And when they have this problem comes up, they go and make these laws. Here, this one we're looking at SB 350. They make these laws and say, well, we got to have so much renewable energy, but you figure out how to do it. That's not our job. Our job is to write laws that no one's going to enforce, no one cares about. Here in the state of confusion, obviously, we've got Senate Pro Tem Kevin De Leon. Figures, he's from Los Angeles. Writing a law where we've got to have so much energy efficiency and energy coming from renewables, but it doesn't count if the renewables are at your house. If you put a solar energy into your house, solar panels at your house, that doesn't count for renewable energy. Maybe we can go back to dealing with those smelt again, those dumb little fish that we have no water because of them. Maybe that's the next idea. Oh, wait a second. Maybe the smelter in the news. I see the next scandal coming from the state of confusion, California Fish and Game Commission, ignoring California state legislation. Does that surprise anybody? I wonder if you must be from San Francisco area because they don't follow any laws.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
This one's coming from Assemblyman Adam Gray. I guess he's not San Francisco. He's from Merced, but he does have that D after his name. I'm scratching my head here if you're watching us. D, that stands for... I better not say that. The censors might get me. Gray is talking about in his latest bill that You gotta love this one. California Fish and Game ignores California state legislator who's having oversight over the California Fish and Game Commission. Same as the CFPB, nobody watches them. They get to do things on their own. Who put them in place? Who created this Fish and Game Commission so that nobody watches them? Well, I guess this is a senator or assemblyman. He wants to put some oversight in place. Maybe we can get rid of that get the smelt off the endangered list so we can get some water instead of dumping it in the San Francisco Bay and then saying this ruse that the governor has us on, saying that if you save water, Mr. and Mrs. America, it's going to have any effect. Yeah, 2% of effect on our total impact of our water. Maybe we can get some more people unemployed here. That's what we're looking to do. 267,000 of them is the newest unemployment number coming out today. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, more on the economic numbers that came out this morning. What do they mean to you? Are you buying, selling, or refinancing real estate? Are you going to wait till the interest rates go up before you act? Are home values really at record levels? We'll talk about it. I'm getting divorced. I guess this is a new one. They put this on my sheet here, and I didn't even know I was getting divorced. How do we split our credit? Mindy, I hope you're not listening. 6 Social Security withdrawal strategies everyone should know. Remember, you can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel lending team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel lending team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel lending team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
Do you have a loved one who wants to stay in their home but you have health concerns about it? The Preferred Care team understands the challenges of caring for your loved ones. Their goal is to keep seniors as independent as possible while maintaining their health, safety, and overall well-being. Whether you need just a few hours a week or 24-hour care, Preferred Care caregivers are trained to meet your needs. Call Preferred Care at 714-696-9150. That's 714-696-9150. Or visit preferredcare.com.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel Lending Team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel Lending Team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037 and DRE number 018694452.
Are you a veteran, police officer, firefighter, doctor, nurse, or teacher? If so, you qualify as one of Ron Siegel's VIP heroes, and we have rewards up to $5,000 or $10,000 when you buy, sell, or refinance a home with one of the Ron Siegel radio partners. As one of the heroes, real estate agents will rebate part of their commission, lending partners will give a credit at closing, the title company has special published rates, and many other service providers have incentives too. All you need to do is call Ron Siegel Radio at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit VIPHeroProgram.com. Just think about what you will do with all the rebates and incentives from the partners of Ron Siegel Radio. Just call us at 800-306-1990 so we can show you our appreciation for your service.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. Real-time real estate segment today brought to you by the VIP Hero Program. Do you qualify as one of Ron Siegel Radio's VIP heroes? All you have to do is go to VIP Hero Program, easy for me to say, .com. Don't type in easy for me to say. Just type in VIPHeroProgram.com. You can see if you qualify, because the list of participants are eligible is pretty significant. Military, active duty, veterans, retired, reservists, National Guards, law enforcement, prison guards, state troopers, firefighters, healthcare professionals, first responders, teachers, all part of the VIP Hero Program. And maybe, I don't know, maybe you want that $5,000 to $10,000 that our partners will give you back at closing of any real estate transaction. See if it works for you. It's Ron Siegel Radio. It's the VIPHeroProgram.com. Our home values really at record levels. Last week, the National Association of Realtors released their existing home sales report. Report announced that median existing home prices in June was $236,400. That is a national number. That is not Southern California. $236,400 in many parts of Southern California. That is also known as a down payment. But in any event, the value surpasses the peak median sales price set July 2006 of $230,400. So what are the big periodicals saying? Wall Street Journal, existing home prices hit record. USA Today came out with their headline. Existing home sales surge. Prices hit a record. Headlines are accurate. We want you to understand the facts of life when it comes to these numbers. Median numbers can be distorted when you're looking at what the makeup of the numbers are. What is a median number? It means nothing more than half of the numbers, half of the prices sold, 50% of them are above, 50% are below. Does not take into account what the amounts are on either side. It's just a counting mechanism. So if you get a lot more of the higher priced properties selling, it will skew the numbers. But the bottom line here, home values are appreciating. And even though they're not increasing at a rate that we should have fears of a new housing bubble around the corner, it is something for you to take action on now as opposed to waiting, and that is the real-time real estate segment. Again, brought to you by the VIP Hero Program. So a couple of weeks ago, we started a conversation with Jenae Noonan. We were chatting a little bit about her old book, which is all of, what, a year old?
Less than a year old. It came out in December, so it's half-life. It's half a year old.
Half a year old, okay. And the name of that book, so we can, for those that weren't, for the people that were not listening, what is a week or 2 weeks ago?
You'll know better than that.
Should have been.
The original book was called Fighter Living Life Like a Champion, and it's available on Amazon.com.
Good deal. Okay, so, and now you were talking then about a new book that you're still writing, but it's going to be published before you finish it.
Yes, the new book. The new book comes out in September. It's called Victory Stories from the Winner's Circle, and
it's not written yet, so that's why we are not positive what the title is.
It's a soft title.
Soft title.
It is. Does
that mean it's a softback book too?
It is a softback book, actually. There are 8 other contributing authors, and to their credit, their stories are done. It's just me who hasn't finished my writing, and I will take the full blame for that.
And you know, so one of the beauties that I did see in the last book, my wife brought this to my attention because I have no life. But she told me when she started reading the book, she was really excited by your book. because the font was large and she could actually see it. So it was written for old people.
It's written for all ages.
Okay.
The font was written for the older people, and I think the content was written for more of a younger generation.
So I'll tell my wife that she's old and that's why the font is appropriate for her.
I was excited that she liked the book, and then tell you said it was only about the font, but
No, she did like it. She really enjoyed it. She was telling me that. She said, especially the font, I could see.
I'm glad she liked it for a reason, whatever it might be.
Any reason,
Yes.
reason, now go buy it and you'll enjoy it as well. So what's the story on the new book? What are we accomplishing? What are you sharing?
The new book has a lot of content, I guess I should say. It is a book of hope.
So I'm going to have trouble with it because it's over my 3-page limit.
Yes, there are more than 3 concepts, but you will be fine.
Okay.
You can read it in strides. You can read one story, let it digest a little bit, and when you need more inspiration, read the next story. Again, we have 8 contributing authors who have extreme, amazing, wonderful stories.
About what?
Oh.
Were they all fighters too?
No. Actually, yes.
Yes.
Every single one of them.
Is this multiple choice? No and yes. I know it's going to be one of those.
True. False. Every single one of them is a fighter in their own right. I am the only one who has gotten in the cage and been punched in the face, but...
You got to be careful of that when you tell people. I mean, we've got a vast audience here.
Yes.
And you're telling people that you got in the cage.
I have gotten in a cage and been punched in the face and have punched other people in the face. So by the term of fighter, I am the only physical combative fighter. But
You're the only one that did it legitimately. From what you've told me, some of them might have had fighting experiences that weren't the ones they really wanted to have.
there is one person who has had physical fights that weren't warranted.
Judged and they weren't sanctioned.
Oh, they were judged. They were definitely judged.
Okay.
There was a judge involved, but not the way she would want.
He wasn't the one that was wearing sweats. He was one that was wearing a robe.
Yes. Think about that one. Where's my coffee? I gotta keep up with you today, Ron.
I didn't mean to stump you on these things.
I'm like a run, sweats, a robe. What's going on here? Because when you walk into the cage, when you walk into the ring, you are wearing a robe. I was like, no, he wasn't wearing a robe. But yes, he was wearing a robe. So one of the girls has been in a physical fight that was not by her choice, and we call that abuse. And the other girls have fought cancer. One of the girls fought a bacterial infection, and she survived. Her legs and her hands did not. But yes, every author has fought something in this book.
That's an interesting concept then. Wow. Okay, so... And you brought with you Tiffany Avans.
Hello there.
Hello there. Did I say your name right?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And I'm looking at some of the things on your biography. I don't even know what applied photography. Do you apply it to somebody, or what? What does applied photography mean?
Applied Photography is an architectural photography firm. They're actually based out of Orange
it's the
County.
name of a company.
Yes.
Okay. Got it. Okay.
And I do not do the photography. I do the sales and the account management.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And are you one of the fighters in the book?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait a second.
She's looking at me. Yes, you are.
I didn't want to stump you there. Usually I like to throw softballs toward people and let them, things that we know that they've got the answer to. Didn't realize that was going to be one of the tougher questions of the day.
Yes, she is one of the authors.
So you're one of the authors, contributors. You've got one of the stories, or are you doing the copywriting?
I have one of the stories. I'm also doing some of the copywriting and the editing, kind of her right-hand man.
I don't know. We're looking here at that video. You can't be considered a right-hand man.
She's on my right.
Okay. Well, you're 50-50 here. You're back on that yes and no. I don't think she's going to qualify as a man, though.
She's a right-hand woman.
Let me just double check.
Right-hand person.
Let me double check my notes. I think it says Tiffany and not Caitlin, right? Just checking.
Yes.
Okay, so what is your story? You've got one of the chapters. I guess each contributor has a chapter to tell their story, or chapters.
That's right. So I'm basically sharing my marriage testimony and some of the trials that my husband and I have experienced, and how much I have grown in the last 8 years, and how we've overcome some challenges that I think some of the readers will relate to.
Nice. So you're going to help us get past that. I guess the first number one of the tough years of marriage is 7 years. And then obviously we know that the number one divorce years is 10. Which, gotta get past that so we can read the chapter and figure out how to manage that. Maybe I can figure out how to get that far myself. I mean, it might be a good story there. So each person's, yours is the marriage section.
Hers. I'm gonna speak over her. Sorry, hers isn't necessary. Hers does talk about marriage, but hers has a lot of personal growth as well. She talks about how when she started her marriage, how she wanted this, and this. She had this idea of what her ideal life for marriage was going to be, and how dare anybody, including her husband, interfere with her 5-year plan. And you can take over any time because this is your story, but one of the things...
I just want to make sure you're paying attention.
I've had to read it 5 million times.
But you guys have been friends forever, and you're having to read her story to figure out what it is.
You know what's funny?
There were things that were shocking to her.
Well, we're going to find out what shocks Jenae Noonan and when we come back, because we're going to see if we can take a little break here and check this out. But you might have to take some notes here and get this ready, Jenae. So you're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, more with Jenae and Tiffany. We're going to find out about the book and the yes, the no, the maybe, the chapter. We'll figure it out. I don't know what it's all about. But also on the docket, I'm getting divorced. How do I split our credit? How do we split our credit? 6, maybe Tiffany, maybe you'll have to help us on that one. 6 Social Security withdrawal strategies everyone should know. Remember, you can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us on Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. Stay tuned. We will be back in just a few.
In the middle of our street, our house.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed-rate loan below 4.25% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $295,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,400 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Or 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Is bad credit holding you back? Did the economic and real estate crisis cripple your credit? There is hope. There is a solution. The Ascent Network is a nonprofit organization that has been helping individuals nationwide repair their credit. Don't let bad credit and the mistakes of the past dictate your financial future. Call Ascent today to take that first step to getting your credit back on track. You can reach Ascent by calling toll-free at 877-871-2400. That's 877-871-2400. Once again, that toll-free number is 877-871-2400. Don't delay. Call Ascent today. Ron Siegel Radio Date Night Trivia, presented by Reunion Kitchen and Drink. Friday, Ron will pose a question based on-air conversations during the prior 7 programs. The person to post the answer according to the guest conversation will win a date night package, including a dinner gift card for Reunion Kitchen and Drink. You might even be able to say hi to Ron when you visit Reunion Kitchen and Drink.
Are you purchasing or own a luxury home? If you're like so many others, your home is your largest asset and the mortgage is your largest debt. The Siegel Lending Team has some amazing financing opportunities right now. Jumbo loans up to $2 million, 30-year rates below 4%, 15-year rates near 3.5%, and if you can believe it, 7-year interest-only hybrids in low 3s. The Siegel Lending Team has all the options for your jumbo or second home loan requirements. Take advantage of them while you can. To learn more about all the other financing products available from the Siegel Lending Team, call 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Again, call 1-800-306-1990. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed by NMLS ID 217037 and 145502. Equal housing lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio anytime at 800-306-1990. 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. You have a credit report, it's wrong. Every one of them is wrong, so that's why I know that yours is wrong. What are you doing about it? Creditsanitizer.com will help you try and correct as much as possible at a very, very reasonable fee. Think about it. Save you some money and not cost you a boatload. Question today, I'm getting divorced and I want to make sure to separate my credit from my wife's. How can I do that? I love getting these notices coming or questions coming in from consumers and listeners all the time. You have to be honest with you, it makes my job a lot easier. I don't come up with the content. If you send me your questions, I can just answer them, and it makes my life a lot easier. So the answer to the question is really, until you file for divorce, you cannot protect yourself. This is the state of confusion, also known as California. We are a community property state, so that which is your debt is your spouse's debt and vice versa, until you get the legal separation and you start separating assets, get the divorce, start separating assets. And remember, if you're looking at the concept of a mortgage, you own a home, you're getting divorced, remember this, because there are a great number of attorneys who either not giving this counsel to their clients or their clients are not taking this guidance. If you own a piece of property, joint property with a spouse, and you're getting divorced, both names are on the mortgage, but the judge says that the husband is responsible for paying that mortgage. Well, guess what, wife? As an underwriter for a new loan, they don't care what the judge says. That's between you and your spouse. They're going to look at it and say you're both liable because they don't want to get in the middle. Even though the judge said one thing, what the underwriter is going to look at is they don't want to deal with the judge. So they'll say, okay, you're right. You don't have to pay that mortgage, but your debt to income ratio is still too high for our comfort level, and you are declined. So anytime there is a divorce case, get your name off the mortgage as part of the divorce settlement. Make sure that happens. That is Your Credit Matters. That is brought to you by creditsanitizer.com. Again, go over to their website and start getting your credit repaired now. If anybody tells you for a long-term benefit you can get credit repaired overnight, run. That is not the case. It will not happen. It takes some time, and you know better than that.
You know better than that.
Absolutely. So we're going to continue our conversation this morning. Jenae Noonan, repeat offender, back in the house. Tiffany Avans in the house. They're writing a book together. Oh, you know something? That's kind of like marriage, isn't it?
A little bit.
Right.
I think if it's like marriage, we've lasted longer than a typical marriage. We're at 30 years now. Friendship.
30 years.
Yeah.
Wow. So you guys don't have to write the book. You can probably just think it, and the other one knows.
Yep. It's kind of funny. Like, I'll text her, like, I have an idea, and then she'll write exactly what I was thinking, and I was like, wow, thank you for having that idea.
Interesting. Whose idea was that one? So you're writing the book with others. And Tiffany, I noticed on our prep work here that you have to inspire people to write their story. What's that all about? They don't want to write it?
All the authors have shared their story. Sometimes we have to prompt them with questions to kind of dig deeper, whether it's how they felt in a certain situation or to get more information about the circumstance.
What do I want to take? What are you trying to accomplish with the book? What am I supposed to do or feel or experience after I've read it?
We want the reader to feel everything that we felt and not in like the sad way. Like there's a lot of like stories that are bittersweet where they start with the trial and the challenge, but the stories are all stories of victory. And so we want the reader to take away that you can overcome whatever is thrown your way. We have cancer survivors, we have miracle babies, we've got marriage trials and abusive relationships.
The thing is, too, is somebody who's reading the cancer story, they might not themselves be going through cancer, but they are going through a hard time, and they can relate to the emotions expressed in the story. So her job as the editor has been to get the emotions from it. Again, I haven't been through cancer, but I have had a time where I felt sad. I have had a time where I felt lonely. So me not going through cancer can relate to her story based on the emotions that she was going through. So as the readers reading through the stories, again, they might not be going through the cancer or the abuse, but they can relate and they can see how to feel better about their situation, to feel the hope, to feel the joy, to feel the calm in the middle of the storm, those kind of things.
Interesting, and it's kind of interesting that you bring up the concept of cancer, because if you really want to have a interesting experience, I won't say it's good or bad, interesting, is tomorrow actually our sponsor VIP Mortgage is having a pink out. One of the lead compliance people has been afflicted with breast cancer, and everybody in the company is going to be wearing pink tomorrow. So if you want to really watch a scary sight, is old, bald, fat guy wearing a pink t-shirt right here on camera in studio. And I've also got pink shirts for all of our guests to wear tomorrow too. So that should be pretty interesting to see. And one of our other contributors or guests tomorrow, he really is one of these masculine. He thinks he's masculine. I always give him a rough time because I've got posted pictures of him with a flower in his drink, and he didn't like that. But I've got a pink shirt for him too.
I heard that's a true sign of masculinity. If you are confident enough as a man, you can wear pink.
I just figured that I'm not going to win a fashion contest anyway. So what the heck? But it is interesting how, and it's ironic that your book, the concept of your book, right now with the Special Olympics going on, kind of ties in with people that are, saying to heck with what the world's throwing at me, I'm going to win.
Mm-hmm. Yep. We have one of the authors. She is a cancer survivor, and she now runs, I think, crazy triathlons. But that would be more.
She's an Ironman.
There you go.
Wow.
She was 21 when she was diagnosed with lymphoma.
Lymphoma?
Yeah.
And now she's running or participating in triathlon. I guess you can't run a triathlon because I think there's swimming involved.
Swim, bike, and run.
She made it a point to
running on water?
Yeah. Oh, she should teach us. She made a point.
And she ice skates.
She made a point to not let the cancer be her story, and her story she wants her story to be a story of victory, of how I'm going to run, I'm going to swim, I'm going to run these triathlons, and she coaches other people in doing them as well. And so, yeah, she's a cancer survivor, but that's not who she is. It's not her identity.
That's interesting, because that sounds like what is really the theme of the book, so to speak, is don't let the situation define you.
Exactly.
Define yourself.
That's the closing chapter. The closing chapter is about how your things that happen to you, or the experiences you live through, or the things you overcome, they're not the definition of you. My story is about being in an abusive relationship, but I don't walk around with the identity of being an abused woman. I'm not. It just, that chapter of my life, 6 months of my life, I had an unfortunate incident, and I've overcome it. So that's it. All of us are still living lives, and we had a little tidbit of something, but that doesn't define who you are.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like sort of the takeaway is that everything is you can set limits to it. If you're strong, and there's all these different examples of, like you said, 6 months, that isn't a life. I mean, you could let it be your life. You could let it consume you.
Right.
But you can also say, something, I'm going to take this, and we were talking before the broadcast this morning about the idea that you want to change the world, so to speak, right? Because of what you went through and not watching other people experience that.
Yeah, I went through a horrible situation, and another author in this book also is with the same person going through the same situation, and
she obviously didn't learn from your experiences.
No, she was manipulated into believing that I was the crazy one, and I was...
Oh, wait a second, I think Tiffany said that you are. I don't
crazy.
know.
I'm crazy in a fun way.
Okay.
There's a difference.
She's known you for 30 years.
And I believe I said she was the crazy one.
Okay. Well, we've got this taped.
Yes.
I'm dating myself. It's not tape anymore.
Tiffany is the fun crazy one. I do have my crazy moments, but
Don't we all?
yes. So one of
Now wait a second. Now many of us would look at you, Jenae, and say, "Okay, let's see. You're saying she's the crazy one, and you're the one that gets in a cage to get punched in the face."
She jumps out of airplanes. Perfectly good airplanes.
Yeah, I guess that makes you both crazy.
I'm going to let her take this story and run with it, but one day I got a phone call on a Wednesday and said, "Hey, I'm getting married on Sunday." That's her. That's what...
I've heard of spontaneous, but I'd pick up and go to Vegas, but not get married 4 days later. We're going to chat about that. 4 days later, and now you're 8 years later. Mm-hmm. I have to find out about this one because they say that those quick spur of the minutes don't last. We're going to talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. We're also going to talk about some Social Security withdrawal strategies. Thank goodness I don't need these yet, but I might be getting there. You can reach me anytime. Call our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com.
The truth! You can't handle the truth!
We will give you the truth as long as you connect with us on Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today Ron Siegel 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and BCAL number 018694452.
Is bad credit holding you back? Did the economic and real estate crisis cripple your credit? There is hope. There is a solution. The Ascent Network is a nonprofit organization that has been helping individuals nationwide repair their credit. Don't let bad credit and the mistakes of the past dictate your financial future. Call Ascent today to take that first step to getting your credit back on track. You can reach Ascent by calling toll-free at 877-871-2400. That's 877-871-2400. Once again, that toll-free number is 877-871-2400. Don't delay. Call Ascent today.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you still a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there is a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations. NMLS 217037 and BCAL number 018694452.
Homeowners that are 62 and older are about to find out a great way to live a better retirement. It's called a reverse mortgage, and SLT can help you learn more. Call the Siegel Lending Team at 800-306-1990 right now to receive your free booklet with no obligation. It answers questions like how a reverse mortgage works, how much you qualify for, the ways to receive your money, and more. When you call the experts at Siegel Lending Team today, you'll learn the benefits of a government-insured reverse mortgage, how it will eliminate your monthly mortgage payments, and give you tax-free cash from the equity in your home. Here's the best part. You still own your home. Now is the best time to take control of your retirement. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990 to get your free brochure. Call today or visit our website at SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com, or simply call 800-306-1990.
listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That's my message, and as your consumer advocate, I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Word on Wealth segment today brought to you by Commerce for a Cause. Do you own a business? Do you take credit cards? If you do, you're paying a credit card processing fee. I don't know who you're paying it to, but you're paying it. The issue is Commerce for a Cause will match that fee, whatever you're paying, and then take 20% of the processing fee and give it to the charity of your choice. Great organization. I would highly recommend you reach out to them right away. Give me a call at 800-306-1990. I will put you in touch with them. I have no ownership with them. I don't work for them. I just like to help charities. What the heck? It's good for you, and it's good for the community. Get the government out of there. We don't need them. Social Security withdrawal strategies everyone should know, and I've shared this with you before. These are items that you want to understand the question. Don't try to get the answer. I know the answers, but I really want you to have the question so that you can call somebody that's educated in this and can look at your unique situation and give you the data that you need. Somebody like Allison Ferguson, I've shared with you before, can help you with this. Don't tell the pinheads in her compliance department I used her name and told you that she can help you, because those pinheads over there don't like it when I say that she can help people, so don't tell them. They don't listen, hopefully. So what are some of the ideas that you need for Social Security withdrawal strategy? Social Security, when you take your Social Security, that is a $500,000 decision. Think about it. If you take it at age 62 when you're first eligible versus age 70, on the average Social Security benefit, the difference is $500,000 in benefits to you and your family. Think about that. Have you heard about file and defer? I didn't think so. Most people haven't heard of file and defer. It's a strategy that people understand. Probably not your neighbor either. That's one of the fallacies of Social Security. Where do people get the information they use to make this $500,000 decision? From their neighbor. Where did their neighbor get the information? From their neighbor. Was their neighbor educated? No. Did they ever talk to anybody about it? No. They just heard from somebody who heard from somebody who heard from somebody, and guess what? Everybody's getting it wrong because they heard from somebody. Get it the right information. The take it as soon as possible and keep working strategy may not be the best one for you. The wait for it strategy depends on your situation. What about for the spouse? Well, that's why the number one time for divorce, 10 years. Because you could be divorced as long as you were married for 10 years, you can collect against your spouse or ex-spouse. Could be a lot of people collecting against the ex-spouse. What the heck? File and suspend, another strategy. The don't get married again after age 60 strategy. What's that all about? I don't have time to share it with you, but you should understand it. The move to avoid paying Social Security income taxes strategy. There are all these different items. Again, if you want the full details, Allison Ferguson can help you. Give me a call. I can put you in touch with her so that she can analyze your situation, educate you from a logical standpoint, from a knowledge standpoint. See, look at here's the issue right here. You will probably only collect Social Security once in your lifetime. So you only need to know about it once. Allison talks to dozens of people every day, every week about it. Who do you think has more experience? You at one or her at dozens? And she's a lot younger than you too, so what the heck? That is the Word on Wealth segment. Again, brought to you by Commerce for a Cause. Continuing our conversation with the authors in-house, Jenae Noonan, Tiffany Avans, talking about the new book. So we were talking before the break. Something here, I've got to get back to this one. I've heard of making quick decisions. You know, I can go across the street to Reunion, they say, come up to me and they say, Ron, what do you want to drink? They already know, but they ask me just to humor me. And I can tell them that I want a kettle martini up with 3 blue cheese olives. They know it, but I can do that pretty quick. But what is it, Wednesday to Sunday to get married? What's that all about? You got to tell us this story.
Well, we were actually engaged for 3 weeks.
Oh, 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Wow, that's a long one.
I think she knew we were engaged. We just hadn't really set the date. But when we got engaged, my husband's mom was sick.
Okay.
She had lung cancer. And so we were basically like, should we get married now and have her be here, or should we wait and have a big wedding later? And we decided, let's just do it now. We had been together for a little over a year at the time, but we had known each other since 2000. So at the time, we'd known each other for 7 years.
Okay, so it wasn't just a real spur of the minute.
Yes. I mean, it was kind of spur of the minute, but not.
We planned a wedding in 4 days.
Yeah, basically.
Well, you said,
Flowers and
Jenae, you told us you were going to write a book in a week, so what the heck?
I got 1 chapter done.
One chapter?
one chapter in a week done. There's more of the book done.
Most of it's done.
We
just have to sew it together.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. And when's the book come out?
Mid-September.
Mid-September. Oh. So you're going to sew it to... You guys are quick sewers.
Yes.
Do you do clothing too?
Well,
no way.
The first book was written. It took about a year to write, and I threw it on the table. And I was like, "Hey guys, we have 2 weeks before this book comes out." And we've been friends forever, so we're really good at the spontaneous get stuff done kind of thing. She had it edited and put together, sewn together, as one would say, in 2 weeks, and it was released. So.
And it became a best-selling book.
And it was a best-selling book. So I'm taking my time writing because I want it to be authentic and I want it to be inspired. I don't want it to be rushed. I don't want it to just get it done because there's a deadline.
Time inspired, rushed, and we got 6 weeks now?
It'll be done.
Well, we already know Tiffany does things pretty quickly, so we're geared for that one.
The majority of the book is written. The 8 other authors who wrote their stories are done. It's just, like she said, weaving it together, connecting the dots, and making it
making it into a book instead of a bunch of short stories.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, you know something? There was a book out there, and I hope for you to get the same sales level.
Chicken Soup for the Soul?
No, I was actually...
My bad.
No problem. I mean, this one here, it hasn't... I don't think it's sold as many yet as Chicken Soup for the Soul, but it's done pretty well, but it's written by an author named Charles Krauthammer. And I don't know if you are familiar with Charles, but he wrote a book that came out recently. And I think it's been the last year, it's sold about 7 million copies.
Wow.
And it's about, I don't know, it's
our
all...
goal. That is definitely our goal.
That would work for you?
Yeah.
Well, and all of his was just taking columns that he wrote and stuck all the separate columns into a book. So, he didn't even take the time to sew it together.
Ours, if he can do 7 million doing that, and ours is actually a little bit more thought out, not taken away from what that was. 7 million's doable.
Yeah. I'm gonna write that on the wall.
There you go.
7 million. Our focus board now has a number.
So
on
I see it every day.
Yeah.
And Tiffany, for your benefit, you got 4 days to do it.
Awesome.
Things That Matter is the name of the book. If you haven't read the book, it's a compilation by Charles Krauthammer. He's a Washington Post. Now I think he's a Fox contributor or The Blaze or something like that. Great book, though. It's just taking a bunch of his different stories of what he's done in a career.
Ironically, my Facebook post is
It's 7 million?
Sometimes.
Okay.
No, I think Facebook limits me to 5,000 now. But my Facebook post is what inspired the first book and some of this book. People are like, you have to write a book, just based off my Facebook post. So my Facebook posts are somewhat in this new book. But
what do you mean by that?
I would write like how many characters you get to write, an inspirational thing, or usually when I'm going through a really hard time in relationships, I write a nice post.
Is that something that's frequent for you, or what?
It used to be. Most of my posts are now in a book.
You're going to have to read Tiffany's chapter about there, because she's got this thing mastered apparently for
Oh no, mine's all dirty laundry.
Well, wait a second here. I guess we're going to have to read that one. Dirty Laundry by Tiffany. Okay.
Stay tuned.
In all fairness, all the authors, it is their dirty laundry, or they're completely transparent to hopefully get the readers to relate to them. We're not sugarcoating anything. It is very raw. It is very transparent. To Tiffany's mother read hers and was shocked at some of the things. It's very open, and some things that, as a reader, like, wow, that person put it out there. But it's very open, it's very transparent, in hopes for someone reading it can relate to it.
So basically, the idea, obviously, when you're doing something like this, is so that people will, if you sugarcoat everything, people start looking at it and saying, that's fantasy land. That's not real life.
One thing, when we're writing this story, some of these stories, is a lot of people wanted to give credit to God, and I'm all about that. Give your credit to God. But they were like, I got cancer, and I was like, I'm just going to give it to God. And her and I, as the editors, were like, can we have how you got to Z? Can we have the A, B, C, D? Can we have the motions in there? Because no human can wake up one day and be like, I might die. Oh, well.
I'm not afraid.
I'm not afraid. No, there's going to be those anger that
the progression.
Right. Yeah.
Anger and fear and all of the other normal progressions that people go through.
Yeah, and if you want to help somebody else get to Z, get to I gave my life to God, then you need to show them how you did it. You need to show the fear. You need to have them, that person, I'm in that stage now where I'm scared. And okay, I can recognize that I'm scared as well, and this is the steps you got to get to there. So it's a very transparent and open. And
tell us the name of the book again and when it comes out.
The name of the book is Victory: Stories from the Winner's Circle, and it comes out mid-September.
Awesome. Got to get it, and we'll have Jenae back with some of the other authors of the book as well. And be sure to set that first radio preset button to come back here every day to join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to Steve, who's engineering us today, and of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Remember, make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun, have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.
XSLPN 700 AM Decatur, Baja California.
You're listening to ESPN Radio 1700.